can be used against you. You have a right to have an attorney present at these proceedings. If you do not have a private attorney, we're offering you the assistance of a public defender or conflict defender this afternoon if you choose to utilize their service. Where would you like to start?
Start position 4, Mr. Bowling.
Hold on a second, I guess, wouldn't be mute.
Okay, and who's representing Mr. Bowling this afternoon?
And you can take that from too. I'm gonna whisper. You ready? 9, 6, 7.
Again, who's representing Mr. Bowling this afternoon?
Ms. Tucker.
Ms. Tucker.
Okay.
7. Okay, so mine is at 9, 3, 6, 6, 7, 17, 11, 74. Did you get all that?
Doesn't look as though Ms. Tucker is on as of yet.
She's logging on now, Judge Morrow.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Strong.
Also, good afternoon, Judge. Ms. McLeod is the conflict for today, and she said she had something in Judge Richardson, but as soon as she's done, she'll log on.
Okay, thank you.
We can go to position 19 at South Annex, Mr. Hubbard.
Who's representing Mr. Hubbard?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay, good afternoon, Mr. McLean. Who's presenting for the state? Ms. Evans Battle. C is on. Who else is here from the state?
We can use chat, type in an email when necessary. But I don't have the email yet. Not yet.
Ms. Evans Battle, is this your case or who's with you today? You're on mute there.
It isn't, but I can present the consent bond agreement for the case, if there's an agreement.
Is this a consent bond, Mr. McLean?
We would be delighted to. We just finished our interviews and I'll look at I'll get on Odyssey, I'll get on Outlook rather. And I'm sure the conditions will be fine. That's all we have to check.
I mean, I
Okay,
can make.
well, why don't we just have Ms. Evans Battle give it orally?
That's fine too. That'll work.
Okay. And this
Good
is from
afternoon.
Mr. Tyler Hubbard.
Yes, let me address Mr. Hubbard first. So I was trying to make sure that everybody's on with us. And if you can, who do you have with you this afternoon, Ms. Evans Battle?
Mr. Rhodes is supposed to be here, I believe.
I'm here. My apologies. I'm just hopping on, just running just a tad late, but I'm here.
Okay, I'm
Good
just trying to
morning,
make sure
Judge.
that we.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Rhodes. Just trying to make sure we have everybody with us before we get started. Mr. Hubbard, good afternoon. I'm Judge Eric Morrow again. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006511B with simple battery family violence. It's my understanding that there might be a consent bond. Ms. Evans, what is that?
Yes, it's for $1,000 signature bond, pretrial services level 1. Conditions of the bond would be for him to have no further violent contact with Cedric Hubbard, no violations of the law, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while on bond.
Your Honor, he does understand. I've discussed the case with him, so those concepts he is in accord with, and he does understand no further violent contact. That's his brother. Yes, Your Honor, we do consent. If somebody could sign my name, they have my express permission.
Okay, if you'll get that. to Ms. Strong. She'll get it to me with the orders this afternoon. Good luck to you, Mr.
They
Hubbard.
would send it to me.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Bridgewater. Yes.
Yeah, Ms. Bridgewater, I'll send it. I have it. I'll send it with Mr. McLean's signature.
No problem.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Hubbard. Okay, who do we have? Who do we have next? Was there anything further for Mr. Hubbard there at the South Annex? South Annex, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, was there anything further for Mr. Hubbard? This is Mr. Hubbard right here, is that
Yes,
correct?
it is.
Okay, so he's gotten a consent bond, so good luck to you, sir.
Your Honor,
Thank you. Have a good
he is 17, no problem, right?
No problem as far as pretrial goes, and there being a co-signer?
Right.
No, it's not required.
Thank you.
Okay, where can we go next? It looks like everybody's on with us.
Position 14, Ms. Hart.
Good afternoon, Ms. Hart. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006534A with battery family violence. Who do we have on from pretrial?
Good afternoon, Judge.
Afternoon, Ms. Jackson.
You ready?
Yes.
The last arrest was September 14th, 2024 in Dallas, Texas, for continuous violence against the family. There was no disposition for that arrest. Does appear to have a felony conviction in 2008 out of Illinois for burglary. And there is a misdemeanor that was in 2008 out of Illinois for retail theft. Does appear to meet the criteria for UJR level 3. Nothing in addition.
Yes, Mr. Rhodes.
Yes, Your Honor. Give me 1 second here. As it relates to Ms. Hart, Your Honor, this is an event that took place on October 20th of this year. And officers were dispatched to Campbellton Road and the County Line Road, where there was a female that had waved them down because she was being beaten. Upon arrival, they observed a Miss Prateria Hart in the driver's seat and Miss Shatara Hart in the passenger seat. And they were both arguing. Officers approached the vehicle to inquire about the events that had taken place and observed that Prateria Hart had visible scratches to her right cheek and left eyebrow, which were both bleeding at the time. Prateria stated that she and her wife, Miss Shatara, had gotten into a verbal altercation which turned physical at the location, resulting in Shatara slapping Miss Prateria numerous times, jumping on top of her inside of the vehicle. Miss Prateria stated that she did bite Miss Shatara to get her off of her during the assault. She also advised that Miss Shatara had kicked the windshield, causing it to shatter, and also ripped down the rearview mirror of the vehicle. They were able to observe the damage to the vehicle as well as the scratches on Miss Prateria. Because Miss Prateria was the one with the brunt of the injuries, they did charge Miss Shatara Hart as the predominant aggressor in this case, Your Honor. Given the fact that she does have that prior felony, that prior conviction, as well as in 2024, there was a felony continuous violence upon family members out of Texas, I believe it was, and that was just in 2024. We are suggesting a surety bond, the amount of $2,500, and that she, at this time, that she has no further contact with Ms. Prateria Hart, and that is spelled Perteria. Hart is Hart, and that she undergoes at least 2 anger awareness courses, and no further violations of the law, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond. Thank you, Your Honor. Did we lose the judge?
Okay, I don't know what happened either. Let me try to reach him.
Yeah, I think we might have lost the judge.
Yeah, everybody hold tight for just a minute. We lost connection. The judge will be back on very shortly.
Ms. Bridgewater, you're the only one that need the signed copy of the bond order. Is that correct? You're the only one?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, I'll send it over to you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, she didn't answer.
Oh, you didn't get an answer. Okay, all right.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm back. Ms. Bridgewater?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Rhodes, I left in the middle of your presentation. Would you start at the top for me, please?
Yes, sir, certainly. This was the case of Miss Shatara Hart. This incident happened on October 20th of this year. Officers were dispatched to the intersection of Campbellton Road and County Line Road in Southwest Atlanta. When they arrived, they engaged Miss Pateria Hart, who was the wife of Miss Shatara Hart. Pateria was in the driver's seat, and Miss Shatara was in the passenger seat. When they approached the vehicle, they observed bruises on Pateria Hart, and essentially the two ladies were in fact arguing. When the injuries that they observed, Your Honor, were scratches to the right cheek and to the left eyebrow of Ms. Pateria Hart. And she did give a statement to law enforcement officers where she said that they had gotten into a physical altercation and that Ms. Shatara Hart had jumped on top of her and slapped her repeatedly and was scratching her about her body. Ms. Pateria did say that she also bit Ms. Shatara in self-defense. She also indicated that Ms. Shatara kicked the windshield and shattered the actual rear view mirror inside of the vehicle. The officers observed the damage to the vehicle as well as the injuries to Ms. Pateria and determined that the predominant aggressor was Ms. Shatara Hart, and therefore they arrested Ms. Shatara Hart on the scene. Your Honor, given the fact that she did have that prior conviction as well as a 2024 felony charge out of the state of Texas, and that charge was for violence towards family member as well. It says continuous violence towards family members is why it was charged as a felony out of Texas. However, there is no disposition that I can see in that 2024 case in Texas. We are asking for a surety bond in this particular case in the amount of $2,500, $2,500 good bond. And at this time that she has no further contact with the victim in this case, who was Miss Pateria Hart, and that she also stay away from, and let me get you the address here, that she stay away from 240 North Avenue Northeast in Atlanta, Georgia, apartment number 1111, and that she undergoes 2 anger awareness courses while out on bond. Thank you, Judge.
If Ms. Pateria Hart is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity. Mr. McLean?
Ms. Shatara Hart is 38 years old. We're aware of the prior arrests. Your Honor, we feel that the arguments in favor of signature bond include the fact that she's 38, she's finished high school, she's a CDL operator, bus driver using her commercial driver's license, has done so for at least 4 years. Given her age and circumstances, if Your Honor were to order her away from that address, she would readily and in a very organized fashion find a new place to live. She would show up in court on time. Thank you.
It will be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 3. She's to begin the Family Violence Intervention Program. No further contact with Ms. Pateria Hart. Stay away from her residential address. She can go back to that address on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, ma'am.
24-week course. That's what 600 days. Stay away from this.
Your Honor, we can go to position 24.
Signature bond. Should have been through a lot of stuff.
Good afternoon, Mr. Medeiros. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006506G with simple battery. Is there a history? Ms. Jackson? Ms. Jackson with us?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, there are no prior arrest on file, Your Honor. Appears to meet the criteria for UJR through the jail. Nothing in addition.
Thank you. Mr. Rhodes?
Yes, Your Honor, this is a consent bond, and I'm going to pull up the conditions of the consent bond. Give me 1 second here, I'm sorry. There we go. All right, Jose Madarias. It's sorry, my computer. It's a consent bond, Your Honor, for UJR. The conditions of the UJR on the simple battery charge. It is not family violence. It's to have no further contact with James Jackson at this time and to stay away from 119 Ashland Drive in Northeast Atlanta. No further violations of the law, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond. And if I may sign for Mr. McLean, I will certainly do so.
Well, actually, Judge, if I may, Attorney Mike Bixon, and I'm here for Jose Maderos. I believe the state might have worked out a consent bond with the state, but I would like to address the bond itself.
Okay, so I'll make the determination if there's not a consent. So Mr. Rhodes, would you tell me what this is about, please?
All right. Give me 1 second. Yeah, on October 18th of this year, between approximately 12:15 and 2:40 a.m. at 119 Ashland Drive, Northeast Atlanta, Georgia 30307, Jose Maderos returned home after being out with his husband and relatives. He entered a bedroom where James Todd Jackson had already gone to sleep, and Maderos admitted to intentionally waking Jackson to continue an earlier argument, then striking him 2 or 3 times in the face with an open hand while Jackson was lying down. Jackson reacted defensively but did not pursue further confrontation. Officers on the scene noted both parties confirmed physical contact, and Maderos did not deny striking Jackson. Your Honor, as it relates to criminal history, it is our understanding that he does not have one. So he does meet the criteria for either a UJR or a signature bond through pretrial services. The person that prepared this on behalf of the state did tell me it was not intimate partner. It was charged as simple battery. That is why the state is suggesting that an unsecured judicial release, that he does not have to pay to get out, but that he just have no further contact with James Jackson and no further violations of the law. Your Honor, if James Jackson is the significant other, we would then ask that it be a signature bond through pretrial services at the level that pretrial services has already indicated that it would be available, and that there be no further violent contact. And it looks like Mr. Jackson, there is a Jackson on. I don't know if it is that Jackson.
It is, yes.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
I'll hear from Mr. Bixon next. Yes, Mr. Bixon?
Yes, Judge. This is Mr. Jose Maderos. He's 40 years old. He's lived in Atlanta since 1999. He's a graduate of Georgia State University, degree in finance. He is working full-time as a real estate agent. He's been doing so for the last 7 years at Ansley Real Estate. Judge, as we previously heard, no prior arrest, no prior failure to appears. Mr. Jackson is actually on the Zoom call, Judge, and he's here specifically to let the court know that he has no issues with just no violent contact. But we do want Mr. Maderos to be able to return home to that address. And like I said, obviously the victim, the alleged victim, has no issue whatsoever with there being just no violent contact. And that was our only other concern. Obviously, totally fine with the UJR bond, Judge. We just want to make sure that there would be allowed, contact would be allowed.
Okay, and is James Jackson the same as Todd Jackson that's here?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. And Mr. Todd Jackson, if you'd like to address the court, now is your opportunity. I'll need for you to unmute yourself and raise your right hand for me. The other hand, do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can place your hand down. Yes, sir. What would you like to tell me?
I would like for Jose to come home. I'd like there to be no bond, and I would really prefer that this was just expunged. This was a complete misunderstanding, and it has gone beyond where it should have gone. This is two adults having a conversation that got a little out of hand that did not spill out into the public. It was in our house, and it could have certainly been confined to the house. And there is no reason for this to have gone any further.
Yes, sir. And what's your relationship to Mr. Medeiros?
He's my husband for the past 18 years.
Anything further, sir?
No, thank you.
Okay. I'm gonna send this through pretrial. It'll be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further violent contact with Mr. Todd Jackson, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you all.
Thank you, Judge. May we be excused?
Yes, have a good rest of your day.
Thank you, Judge.
Who do we have next?
We go to position 28, Mr. Richardson in person.
And Mr. Richardson person is position number 29. Is that who we're on now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. Good afternoon. Mr. Richardson person, you have been charged in case 25 CR 006529B with battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Jackson?
The last arrest, Your Honor, there's one prior cycle. Was July the 6th, 2023, out of Clayton County for possession of marijuana less than an ounce. That charge was null pros on December the 16th, 2024. He does appear to meet the criteria for a UJR through the jail. Anything in addition?
Thank you, Ms. Evans. Ms. Evans Battle?
Yes, Your Honor, I have presented a consent bond in this case. With it being a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial services level 1. The conditions of the bond would be no violent contact with Zari Rashid, complete 3 anger awareness classes, no further violations of the law, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while on bond.
Dr. Understanding, good afternoon, Ms.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. We are fine with that bond.
Okay. If you will get the consent to Ms. Bridgewater, she'll get it to me and we'll get it signed and entered.
Thank
Good
you, Your
luck to
Honor.
you, Mr. Richardson person.
I'm sorry, what was the amount on that bond and the level, please?
2,000. Oh, go ahead, Ms. Evans Battle.
2,000 and level 1.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Add on 1, Mr. Glenn. Glenn.
And do we have any other consent bonds for today, Ms. Evans Battle?
Judge is gonna free.
Yes, Your Honor, I have several that we've sent over.
Okay, so before I begin my recitation, if you can, or Mr. Rose can just tell me up front that it's a consent bond, then I'll just have you give the consent, okay?
Yes, Your
So
Honor.
I think that'll move a bit faster. All right, thank you. And this is position 1 on the add-on, is that correct? Courtroom 2?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, what you said?
This is add-on 1 on the position 1 on the add-on?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Glenn. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006535F with possession of marijuana less than an ounce, fleeing or attempting to elude a police officer, and distracted driving. Ms. Jackson, oh, is this a consent, Ms. Evans Battle?
No, sir, it isn't.
Okay, yes, Ms. Jackson.
There are 4 cycles. The last arrest was October the 15th, 2025 in Union City, Georgia for giving false information to an officer and obstruction of an officer. There was no disposition for that arrest. And he appears to have an open case pending out of College Park for theft by shoplifting. That arrest took place on May the 5th, 2025. There's no disposition for it. There's 1 misdemeanor conviction since 2023 out of Cartersville, Georgia, for a non-fingerprintable offense. He was recommended for a UJR level 3. Nothing in addition.
Thank you. Ms. Evans-Battle?
Yes, Your Honor. In this particular case, Officers Hill and Rashid Weston performed a traffic stop along Old National Parkway and Godby Road because they saw the driver, Mr. Glenn, had a cell phone in his hand. They were able to initially pull the vehicle over in the parking lot at 2449 Godby Road, and they approached the vehicle. Mr. Glenn identified himself. They were able to verify his identity, but they also smelled marijuana. He indicated that he did have a blunt in the car and he removed it from its location in a compartment and gave it to the officer. As they were asking him to step out of the vehicle, instead of doing so, he slammed the door and took off. They proceeded to attempt to stop him, had flashing lights, and thereafter, and they were not able to stop him. We're asking at this particular time, our bond recommendation is for a $3,000 surety bond on the fleeing and attempting to elude, $1,000 on the marijuana charge, and $1,000 on having a cell phone, for a total surety bond in the amount of $5,000 at this particular time.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Mr. Glenn is 19 years of age. He is currently, he was able to provide me with a good residential and mailing address. He was born in Riverdale, Georgia, so he's a Georgia native. He's completed high school. He's currently working doing a moving gig. We are requesting a signature bond on behalf of Mr. Glenn. He does have limited history. This is his 4th cycle. And as mentioned by pretrial, he was approved for a UJR. So we are requesting a signature bond on his behalf. He also does not. So that's our request today, Your Honor.
Okay, for the marijuana, it'd be a $250 signature bond through pretrial level 2. For the distracted driving, a $250 signature bond through pretrial level 2. For the fleeing, a $500 signature bond through pretrial level 2. Makes for a total of $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. A defensive driving class, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Glenn.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Next is position 33, Mr. Tran.
Who's going to consent with signature bond, and I'm going to sue the judge, but I'd like to.
Good afternoon, Mr. Tran. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006527D with battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Jackson?
There are 7 cycles. The last arrest was May the 8th, 2022 in Fulton County for aggravated assault and cruelty to children in the 3rd degree, and possession of a firearm or a knife during commission of a felony. There was no disposition for that arrest. He does have prior misdemeanor convictions, 1 in 2024 for pointing or aiming a gun or a pistol at another, 1 in 2017 out of Henry County for a hit and run, 1 in 2011 out of Henry County for criminal trespassing, And he was recommended for UJR level 1. Nothing in addition.
Ms. Evans Battle.
Your Honor, we submitted a request for a consent bond in this particular case of $3,000 pretrial services level 1, that he have no further contact with Jessica Mann, that he stay away from 2380 Strathmore Drive, Northeast Atlanta, that he complete 12 anger awareness classes, no further violations of the law, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while on bond.
Ms. McClellan.
Yeah, Your Honor, I believe that the stay away address may be his home address. So of course, we would not be able to agree to that because this person it's not a relationship situation, Your Honor, and they don't live together. And I believe she was at his house.
Okay, do
So
we
we
have
are
any?
okay with the signature bond, Your Honor, but the stay away aspect of it, I believe that the address that was stated was his address. Can she say the address again? Just let me make sure.
Did you hear the request, Ms. Evans Battle?
I have the address as 2380 Strathmore Drive.
Oh, that's not it. That's fine. That is not his address.
Thank you.
Okay, so it's a consent, Ms. McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor, we will consent to the signature bond.
Okay, very good. Good luck to you, Mr. Tran.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, what was that amount again?
It was for $3,000.
Level 1?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Your Honor, before Attorney McLeod leaves, I have position 34, Ms. Williams.
Good afternoon, Ms. Williams. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006530Y with battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Jackson?
There are no prior arrests on file, Your Honor. She was recommended for a UJR level 1. Nothing in addition.
Thank you. Ms. Evans Battle.
Yes, Your Honor, our recommendation is for a $3,000 signature bond, pretrial services, level 1. It would be as to the battery, family violence, $2,000. And as to the obstruction, it is going to be $1,000 as to the obstruction, that she have no further violent contact with Alexandria Williams, that she complete 3 anger awareness classes, no further violations of the law, alcohol, drugs, or weapons while on bond.
Our calendar only has one charge on it, which is battery family violence. I don't have an obstruction. Ms. Bridgewater?
I don't show but one charge as well, Your Honor. I do not show an obstruction.
Okay, maybe it didn't get filed down. Hold on. Okay, I will file it down right now. It didn't get attached.
Okay, so let me just start. If there's going to be a consent, that's fine with the court, okay? But otherwise, I can't make a decision unless I know the facts of the matter. So if there's a consent, tell me up front, and I'll make sure that the other attorney has consented to it, and that'll be fine with the court. Otherwise, I'm gonna need to know the facts so that I can make a proper decision, okay? So let's just start at the top on this one, Ms. Evans Battle. Since it's not a consent, can you tell me what happened, please?
Your Honor, apparently it is a signature bond with no further violent contact with her sister, so we consent to that.
Well, I appreciate that, Ms. McLeod, but there's an obstruction charge as well, and I don't know anything about the obstruction, and I don't, given that I'm
Neither
gonna
do
have
I,
to,
Your Honor.
again, given that I'm gonna have to make the decision, I need to have some background and some facts so that I can properly do that.
Yes, Your Honor. In the report that we have here, as to the situation was that Ms. Williams was engaged in an altercation in which she began to punch Miss Alexandria Williams in the face several times, and as a result of that, she sustained injuries. The officer she would not comply with the officer when the officer was present and was attempting to detain her. She would refuse to follow commands, to put her hands behind her back. She was pulling away from the officer. She was attempting to walk away up the stairs in the apartment. And he was trying to inform her that she was not free to leave. And she indicated that she was not going with the officer. At some point in time, they were able to detain her, of course, and she was arrested on both the battery charge and the the obstruction of a law enforcement officer.
And Alex Williams, what is the relationship?
That is her sister, is my understanding. And that was why we were asking for no further violent contact with her.
And your officers had contact with Miss Alex Williams?
I did not see where they were able to speak with her today.
Okay, so
on here. And the reason why I asked for the no further violent contact, this took place, at my understanding, was at Miss Sierra Williams' home, and Alexandria was actually staying with her. So since they're not in the same household, there really should be a limited contact.
okay, if Miss Alex Williams is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity. Anything further, Ms. McLeod?
Nothing further, Your Honor. If it's going to be a signature bond, we consent to that.
Okay. For the battery, a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. For the obstruction, $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Makes for a total of a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further violent contact with Alex Williams, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons, Alexis Williams, while out on bond. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor. That concludes my business before the court today. May I be excused?
Yes, thank you, Ms. McLeod. We'll see you
You're
next
welcome,
time.
Your Honor. Yes,
Ms.
sir.
Bridgewater, if you'll check your chat for me, please. Who do we have next?
Position 32, Ms. Sutton.
Your Honor, Ms. Sutton has been offered a consent, and we'd like to consent, but there's just one point to clarify on point number 2 of the conditions. Let me also announce, Your Honor, Christopher Mitchell on our calendar will be a total consent, and anyone has permission to sign my name on the Mitchell order, which I have seen. And Zari Rashid, same announcement. Please sign my name to that consent bond. Anyone? And the court or the prosecutor. Ms. Sutton is here and would like to agree to everything except number 2. She's the renter. She says she has tried to get the person evicted. They told her at the eviction court, you can't evict this person yourself because you're a renter and not the owner. So if she goes to her landlord, I'm afraid she might get in trouble because the landlord's going to say, what are you doing subletting? Why are you letting somebody stay where you're the renter? But at any rate, Your Honor, I think she's in agreement with 99% of it. We just need to, I think it would be cleared up if Your Honor ordered that if she go back to there with one-time law enforcement escort, and if the other person is not there, then she could stay because she's
Okay, let me just stop everybody. Okay. I don't know anything about what you're talking about, Mr. McLean. I run this court very orderly. Everybody knows how this court is run. We do this the same every time. For some reason, it's all a big mishmash today. I want to go back to getting this run orderly and in a way that I can understand. I have not even had the opportunity to address this young lady.
Sure.
Okay. We do this every Monday, the same time, the same way. If there's going to be a change, somebody let me know before court so that we can all be prepared, so that we can all be on one accord, so that this does not happen. I do not like how this court is being handled today. All right. So until we learn how to handle this properly, I'm going to go back to the way that I do it every Monday, which is I'm going to address the person that's before me in an orderly way. I want to know what the history is. I want to know what the facts are, and I want to know any argument. Okay? If there's a consent before the court, those need to be sent to me beforehand. But as far as today goes, I'm not going to, because it's so unorderly, I'm not going to accept any consents. I'm going to make the decisions myself. Okay? So we're going to do that, and we're going to start now. Now, this is what position are we on?
Sutton.
32.
32. Good afternoon, Ms. Sutton. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006526F with battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Jackson?
There are no prior history, Your Honor. She was recommended for a UJR level 1, nothing in addition.
Yes, Ms. Evans Battle.
Yes, Your Honor. In this particular case, on October the 19th of 2025, officers saw several people in dispute at 358 Fraser Street South East. The parties involved in the situation were Ms. Sutton, Michaela Sutton, and Deaza Houston, who was another person living in the household at the time. The parties got into an argument. Miss Sutton was packing Miss Houston's things for her to leave the home, wanting at that point for her to leave the home. And they during the course of their argument, Miss Sutton hit Miss Houston and caused bruising to her face. And as a result of that, she was arrested on these particular charges. Our recommendation for bond in this particular case is for her to receive a signature bond, $2,000, that she participate in pretrial services level 1, that she have no further contact with Deaza Houston. I I am not sure of the situation with the housing, whose lease it is or anything like that. But our position was if the parties were living in the home, she's the offender at 358 Fraser Street Southeast, that we would ask that she not be in the home. Complete 8 anger management classes, that she have no further violations of the law, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while on bond.
If Ms. Houston is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity. Yes, Mr. McLean.
Your Honor, she's willing to go along with every condition. She just asked that it be recognized that the other person is not on the lease. She is on the lease. She believes the other person has left. She'd like a ability to go back to her own place. She understands the eviction process because it's been described to her. She already tried to evict this person. So it's been explained to her that she herself cannot fill out. Only her landlord, the owner of the property, can do the eviction. It probably won't be a problem because the other person is probably gone anyway. But if the other person is gone, we'd like the law enforcement to see that and allow her to stay.
Okay, it will be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further contact with Ms. Houston. She can go back to the Fraser Street address on one occasion with law enforcement. If Ms. Houston is not at that address, she can remain there. If Ms. Houston still resides there, she will necessarily have to get her belongings and find someplace else to reside. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Ms. Sutton.
Next is position 30, Ms. Robinson.
Yes.
Good afternoon, Ms. Robinson.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am. You've been charged in case 25 CR 006525G with loitering and prowling and theft by taking. Is there a history, Ms. Jackson?
There are no prior arrests on file, Your Honor. You appear to meet the criteria for UJ or through the jail. Nothing in addition.
Thank you. Ms. Evans Battle?
Yes, Your Honor. This situation is where the homeowners were not home at the time that this incident took place. It took place in the day during working hours. There was a at them that someone was prowling about the porch, and it's my understanding that she's not known to the victims. A leaf blower was taken, and it was at 17 Drive during that time. We are asking in this particular case that she receive a signature bond in the amount of $3,000. There'll be pretrial services level 1. As to the loitering prowling, it would be $1,000 as to that particular charge. And for the theft by taking, $2,000. Have no contact with Darius Sykes, who's the homeowner. Stay away from 1720 Porter Drive, West Atlanta. Have no further violations of the law, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Darius Sykes is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Yes, Mr. McLean.
Your Honor, 25-year-old Ms. Robinson, who has worked in a restaurant, is a high school graduate, has no problem whatsoever with any of the conditions proposed. We would like to consent to the signature bond. For housing purposes, I've had her talk to our social worker for advice. Thank you.
All right, for each charge will be a $1,000 signature bond through the jail, makes for a total of a $2,000 signature bond through the jail. A social worker visit to assist with housing. No further contact with Mr. Darius Sykes. Stay away from the incident location. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Ms. Robinson.
Next, we have position 9, Ms. Culbertson.
Good afternoon, Ms. Culbertson. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006520H with battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Jackson?
There are no prior arrests on file. She appears to meet the criteria for UJR through the jail. Nothing in addition.
Thank you. Who's presenting for the state?
Yes, Your Honor, this is Lamar
Yes,
Rhodes
Mr.
for the
Rhodes.
state. There is a consent bond that was already signed by both parties, both myself and Miss for the defense, Miss Tucker. She sent it and I forwarded over to Miss Holly, Miss Holly Bridgewater. So is that correct, Miss Tucker?
Yes, Your Honor. I mean, yes, but I do believe Your Honor wanted to address each case.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
if you all have already consented to it and signed it, then that's fine with me. I just wanted this court to run orderly,
Yes, sir.
which it was getting out of hand. So put on the record, what is the consent bond, Mr. Rhodes?
Yes, Your Honor. As it relates to Mr. Culbertson, the state and the defense has agreed to a $3,000 sign-on bond through pretrial services level 1. And we've asked for the conditions that there be no further contact with Mr. Christopher Smith and no further violations of the law, and that he does engage in 2 anger awareness courses and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while on bond. Thank you, Your Honor.
Tucker, is that your
Yes, Your Honor.
understanding?
While that was our understanding and we did consent, she was requesting for a one-time police escort to pick up property and third-party transfer of their minor child.
It's fine with the court as long as it's fine with Mr. Rhodes, since you all consented to
No
it.
objections whatsoever, Your Honor.
Okay, somebody's gonna have to get that placed on that consent.
I'll do
board.
it. I'll do that and I'll send it back over.
Okay,
Thank you.
Ms. Culbertson, you've been given a signature bond, $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Next is position 4, Mr. Boland.
Good afternoon, Mr. Boland. You've been charged in case 25 CR 006508C with battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Jackson?
It's 1 prior cycle. The last arrest was September the 27th, 2019, out of New York for criminal possession of controlled substance in the 7th degree. There was no disposition for that arrest, and it was recommended for UJR through the jail. Nothing in addition.
Mr. Rhodes?
Yes, Your Honor. As it relates to this particular charge, both myself and counsel for the defense, Ms. Tyshawn Tucker, have agreed to a consent bond. I just had to make a correction in the address, but I can put that on the record, Your Honor.
Okay.
As it relates to Mr. Boland, David Boland, we're doing a $3,000 sign-on bond through pretrial services level 1. No further contact at this time with Ms. Jadea Lyle, and that's spelled Jahdea Lyle, Lyle, and to stay away from 6813 Fireside Lane in South Fulton, Georgia. No further violations of the law, 2 anger awareness classes, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while on bond. Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Tucker, is that your understanding?
Yes, Your Honor, that was my understanding. I did speak with Mr. Boland about it, and he does consent as well.
Good luck to you, Mr. Boland. $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Who do we have next?
You can go to position 1, Mr. Anderson.
Good afternoon, Mr. Anderson. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006501G with escape and willful obstruction of law enforcement officers. Is there a history, Ms. Jackson?
Yes, there are 8 cycles. The last arrest was October the 20th. I think that date is incorrect. I'm sorry. I will have looked that up for you. But that arrest was out of Cobb County for a probation violation and theft by shoplifting and obstruction of an officer. And it appears to be on probation in Cobb County with theft by shoplifting. That disposition date was January the 8th, 2025. And the term is for 11 months and 8 days. Also, there appears to be an open case pending out of Fulton County for aggravated assault, battery, family violence, cruelty to children in the 3rd degree, battery, obstructing or hindering a person from making an emergency telephone call, and simple assault and simple battery, family violence. That case number is 24 SC 005547. In addition to that, it appears to be an outstanding hold out of Marietta, Georgia for a probation violation. The date on that warrant was March the 28th, 2025. Nothing in addition. It does appear to meet the criteria for UJR level 3. Nothing in addition.
Thank you. Mr. Rhodes?
Yes, Your Honor. This happened on October 18th of this year. Officers that were assigned to the Grady detention at on 80 Jesse Hill Drive. Basically, they were monitoring the defendant because he was a patient there, but he was also in custody. Essentially, when they were transporting him from Grady to the Rice Street Jail, Mr. Anderson at that time was medically cleared and discharged from Grady Hospital. While during the actual transport from the emergency room, the defendant did run past the ambulance bay with his handcuffs on. He ran away from officers. They basically had to get on radio to call for backup. Were not able to catch him initially, however, was able to see that he was last heading towards Logan Road when they then called for air units to assist from above. Minutes later, they were able to apprehend him inside of a parking garage, which forms the basis of the escape, Your Honor, as well as the escape in this particular case. And of course, there are obstructions from law enforcement officers as well. And so what given the defendant's history, as well as the open case that he has, the fact that he ran from law enforcement officers while in custody with handcuffs on, Your Honor, we do believe that he poses significant risk as someone that would flee and not return back to court. Open cases as well as the hold that he has in Marietta, we're asking for a $5,000 cash bond, broken down as $3,000 on count 1 and 1 on the additional charges for a total of $5,000. We're also asking that perhaps he see a social worker for behavioral health evaluation and treatment. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Anderson is a 22-year-old Atlanta native. He was able to provide me with the residential address that his grandmother maintains and he resides at as well. He's completed his high school education and he is currently employed at Taco Mac and Insurin, a work from home job. So he does have 2 forms of employment. We are requesting a signature bond on behalf of Mr. Anderson. He's been, prior to relocating to his grandmother's address, experiencing homelessness, and he's attempting to get back on his feet, working 2 jobs. So we are asking for either a signature bond or a $1,000 surety on this matter.
Your Honor, if it's okay, I'd like to give you that last arrest date.
Yes, Ms. Jackson.
December the 17th, 2024.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
For each charge will be a $1,000 good bond, makes for a total of a $2,000 good bond, a social worker visit to assess for a BHET, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Anderson.
Next is position 10, Miss Dallas.
Good afternoon, Ms. Dallas. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006522E with criminal trespass and simple assault family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Jackson?
There are no prior arrests on file. She was recommended for a UJR level 1, nothing in addition, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Rhodes?
Yes, Your Honor, this is also a consent bond that was agreed upon by myself and defense attorney. I believe that one was signed already, so I will make sure and forward that over. And the conditions are for a $3,000 sign-on bond, pretrial services level 1, 1,000 on the criminal trespass, and 2,000 on the simple assault family violence, Your Honor. At this time, we ask that she has no further contact with Jason Lee, no further violations of the law, 2 anger awareness courses, no alcohol, drugs while on bond. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Jason Lee is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Ms. Tucker, is that your understanding?
Yes, Your Honor, that was my understanding of the consent bond, and I did speak with Ms. Dallas about it, and that was her understanding as well.
Oh. Criminal trespass, $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1 with a simple assault, a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Makes for a total of a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Good luck to you, Ms. Dallas.
We can go to positions 15 through 18. Or Ms. Tucker, did you want to say that to the end, or we can take that now?
If we could save it to the end.
All right. We can go to position 6, Mr. Carr. Right here, Mr. Carr.
Good afternoon, Mr. Carr. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006510E with theft by shoplifting and criminal trespass. Is there a history, Ms. Jackson?
There are 9 cycles. The last arrest was May the 23rd, 2025 out of Fulton County for theft by shoplifting and criminal trespassing. There was no disposition for that arrest. He does have one misdemeanor sentence that was in 2024, received a nolo contendere sentence for theft by shoplifting. It was recommended for UJR level 2, nothing in addition.
Thank you. Mr. Rhodes?
Yes, Your Honor. This stemmed from an event that happened on October 18th of this year. Your Honor, officers were dispatched to the target located at 3535 Peachtree Road in reference to a shoplifting. Upon arrival, they did make contact with the asset protection manager, Mr. Nigel Bennett. Mr. Bennett stated that a male wearing dark clothing arrived at the store, selected food items from the target and concealed them in a bag. That individual did pass all points of sale without rendering a payment for the items that were taken. The security was able to show law enforcement officers on camera footage regarding the incident, and they did detain Mr. Bennett at this time. So all of the items were given back to the store, Your Honor. Mr. Bennett did state that the male had was issued a criminal trespass warning from previous incidents at the same location. Once on May 23rd of 2025, and they did give a case number for that, case number 241431357, as well as one from February 23rd of this year, 2025. They gave a case number for that one as well, Your Honor. So given the criminal trespass warrants that was given, the criminal history, the fact that he was just recently arrested in 2025, Your Honor, we're not inclined to agree with the UJR, a signature bond, but we are asking, Your Honor, to set a good bond in the amount of $100 for the theft by shoplifting. Thank you, Judge. And I'm sorry, and stay away from the target, all targets, but particularly the one at 3535 Peachtree Road. And if the judge feels fit, a social work visit
As Mr. Rhodes, I don't believe you gave me your recommendation for that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Aren't there two charges?
Let me double check.
Theft by shoplifting? I've got a theft by shoplifting and a criminal trespass.
Yes, thank you, Judge. I'm sorry. I'm reading the facts. So on the 50 each, Your Honor, 50 on the theft by shoplifting and 50 on the criminal trespass.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Carr is a 36-year-old Atlanta native. He is currently experiencing homelessness, so he wasn't able to give me an address for him. He has completed the 11th grade. He is currently not employed. We're requesting a signature bond for him if the court finds it appropriate, or the lowest bond that the court will set in this matter. I did speak with him regarding the target location. We have no objections to a stay away from either that specific location or any targets.
Okay. For each charge will be a $50 good bond, makes for a total of a $100 good bond. Social worker visit to assess for BHET and assist with housing necessary. Stay away from all targets, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Carr.
Next is position 8, Ms. Clanton.
Good afternoon, Ms. Clanton. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006517A with disorderly conduct and battery. Is there a history, Ms. Jackson?
Yes, there are 11 cycles. The last arrest was January the 14th, 2006, out of Clayton County for a DUI and a hit and run. There are misdemeanor convictions, one in 2006 out of Clayton County for a DUI and a hit and run. There was one in 2004 for a DUI and one in 1997 out of Rockdale County for obstructing an officer, one in 1996 for criminal trespassing. It was recommended for a UJR level 1. Nothing in addition. She was recommended.
Thank you. Mr. Rhodes?
Yes, Your Honor, as it relates to the to Ms. Clanton, there is a consent bond that was signed by myself and Ms. Tyshawn Tucker, and I was able to forward that over to Ms. Bridgewater. And the conditions of that bond is UJR, unsecured judicial release. The conditions are that she's to have no further contact with Ms. Cassandra Goosby, Goosby, and to have no further violations of the law. We are asking that she take 2 anger awareness courses while out on bond, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while on bond. Although the state does know the criminal history, we do believe it was remote in time. I believe the last arrest that we saw was in 2006, Your Honor, which is the basis for the consent. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Is that your understanding, Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Your Honor, that was my understanding. I did speak with Ms. Clinton, and she is agreeable to all the terms.
Okay. Good luck to you, Ms. Clanton.
We go to position 2, Mr. Bennett.
Good afternoon, Mr. Bennett. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006502D with battery family violence. Is there a history?
There are 9 cycles. The last arrest was October the 18th, 2025, out of Wayne County, Georgia, for tampering with evidence and possession of marijuana with the intent to distribute, and obstruction of an officer, and possession and use of drug-related objects. That case appeared to be still pending. Also, he appears to have an open case pending in Fulton County. That case number is 25 PI 003240 for possession of a firearm or a knife during commission of a felony and possession of marijuana with the intent to distribute. And there appears to be an open case out of Appling County, Georgia for aggravated battery. And there's one prior misdemeanor conviction. It was in 2021 out of Long County for carrying a weapon without a valid license and possession and use of drug-related objects. And he was recommended for UJR level 2. Nothing in addition, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Rhodes?
Yes, Your Honor. This event took place on October 18th of this year. Officers were flagged down by a lady at 1991 DeLoe Drive at approximately 12:30 a.m. There was, in fact, a fight in progress. The young lady was identified as a Miss Tashari Mebane, Mebane. She approached the officers and advised that she is one of the members that was involved in the dispute. She informed them that she was attempting to retrieve property from the apartment that she resides in with her boyfriend. She identified her boyfriend as Mr. Terrence Bennett. She also informed them that earlier her boyfriend hit her in the face, leaving a mark on her left eye. They were able to inspect the eye, and they did in fact see the mark that was left there. Ms. Main also informed them that that Mr. Bennett had been physical with her throughout the day. They did get a chance to speak with Mr. Bennett on the scene. He did admit that he hit her in the eye, but he said it was with his elbow and that it was unintentional. He did not add anything further. Your Honor, officers did decide to arrest him on the charges, and based on the history that you've heard, Your Honor, and the open cases that are currently outstanding, we are asking for a good bond, Your Honor, in the amount of $3,000, that he has no further contact with Miss Tashari Mebane, and that it sounds like she was retrieving items from the place. Don't know if she fully left because we were not able to have contact with her. But at this time, that he has no further, that he'd stay away from 1991 DeLoe Drive. If he does have a one-time escort and it is determined that she fully moved out, then we have no problem with that particular condition being lifted, Your Honor. Thank you.
Ms. Tucker? Is this your case? Go ahead, Ms. Tucker.
Mr. Bennett is 27 years of age. He is a Georgia native, but he's lived in the Atlanta area for over a year now. He was able to give me a good residential address. He's in trade school he's gotten a trade in welding. He's currently employed at the Yamaha Manufacturing Center. We are requesting a $1,000 surety or a signature bond if appropriate in this matter. He was approved for pretrial release level 2, UJR. In regards to no contact with Ms. Tashari, we have no objections to no contact. However, for the stay away, we would object. We are asking that he be allowed to return to his residence. Based on the police report itself, she resides at 3301 North Camp Creek Parkway, apartment A7. So there is an address on file for her that is separate from the incident location at 1991 DeLoe Drive. So we are requesting that he be allowed to return to his address.
Okay, it will be a $3,000 good bond, no further contact with the alleged victim, stay away from her residential address, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Bennett.
Next is position 20, Mr. Hudson.
Good afternoon, Mr. Hudson. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006509B with battery, family violence, and willful obstruction of law enforcement officers. Is there a history, Ms. Jackson?
There are 27 cycles. The last arrest was January the 2nd, 2025 out of East Point, Georgia for battery. There was no disposition for that arrest. He does have felony convictions and a sentence. He took an Alford plea in 2016 for forgery in the third degree. There's one in 2013 out of Illinois for possession of controlled substance, one in 2007 out of Illinois for possession of a weapon by a convicted felon, one in 2003 out of Illinois for possession of controlled substance with the intent to distribute. And there are misdemeanor convictions. It's one in 2023 out of Cobb County for simple battery, one in 2013 out of Illinois for obstruction of an officer. Nothing in addition, Your Honor. Does appear to meet the criteria for UJR level 2. Nothing in addition.
Thank you. Mr. Rhodes?
Yes, Your Honor. On October 18th of this year at 1947 Dunlap Avenue in East Point, Georgia, Mr. Hudson did get into a physical altercation with Rosie Nelson, his sister, who had returned to the residence to bring him a cell phone. Nelson reported that Hudson had thrown her and her children's clothing outside of the home before she arrived. And then when she confronted him, Hudson grabbed her by the neck and repeatedly punched her in the body with a closed fist. Ms. Nelson did sustain open wounds to her wrist and forearm, and the front windows of the apartment were broken during the actual struggle. She escaped by locking herself inside the apartment and exiting through the back door, and that's when she made the call to 911. When officers arrived and ordered Hudson to come to the door, he refused to comply, and instead, he leaned out of a broken front window, showing visible swelling to his right hand and cuts on both arms. After multiple commands, officers removed him through the window, at which point he actively resisted by pulling away until he was handcuffed and grounded. The victim reported that Hudson had been drinking earlier in the night and that alcohol abuse has become a severe problem. Your Honor, as it relates to Mr. Hudson, you were able to hear the criminal history that he has. So in this case, we are recommending that there be a surety bond in the amount of $3,000, $2,000 on the battery and $1,000 on the willful obstruction. We're asking that he has no further contact with Ms. Rosie Nelson and to stay away from 1947 Dunlap Avenue, apartment number 3 in East Point. We're asking that he undergoes alcohol drug evaluation and treatment, as it seems that alcohol was the purpose of this, was a part of played a huge significant role in it. And that's the recommendation of the state, Your Honor. Thank you.
Ms. Rosie Nelson is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity to do so. Mr. McLean?
Honor, 39-year-old Mr. Hudson does have that address. He's on the lease, so there's that thorny problem to be solved. He's a high school graduate, Your Honor. He has worked as a maintenance technician, as a carpenter, and has worked in retail. His significant other was mentioned in the police report as having been present. Let's see. That's everything. We'd ask the court to consider the lowest possible bond. If he's ineligible for a signature bond, we won't ask for it. But if he legally is eligible for it, we would ask the court to consider it. Thank you.
For the battery, $1,500 good bond. For the obstruction, a $500 good bond. Makes for a total of a $2,000 good bond. No further contact with Rosie Nelson. Stay away from the Dunlap Avenue address. If necessary, he can go back to that address on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Hudson.
Thank you.
Next is position 13, Ms. Graham.
Good afternoon, Ms. Graham. You have been charged in case 25 CR 0065003Y with battery family violence and simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Jackson?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. What was that position again?
It's position number 13, Ms. Jennifer Graham.
I'm sorry. Just a moment, please.
Okay.
Your Honor, this is going to be a bond surrender. The last arrest was October the 3rd, 2025 in Fulton County for battery family violence. And she was out on a signature bond for battery family violence. That case number is 25 CR 006139 and the letter Y. There's one prior cycle, and she was recommended for a UJR level 2. Nothing in addition.
Mr. Rhodes?
Yes, Your Honor. This is also October 18th, 2025, between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. in the morning at 801 River Run Drive in Sandy Springs. Ms. Graham and Nathan Keeley, who shared the residence, were involved in a verbal dispute that became physical. And this is after Mr. Keeley had declined some unwanted advances. Ms. Graham entered his room, slapped and scratched the left side of his face, leaving multiple bloody marks, then grabbed his right arm and scratched it. Officers did observe all of the injuries to Mr. Keeley. He also alleged that she kicked him in his left rib cage. He did not retaliate. However, officers did in fact arrest the defendant in this particular case. And Your Honor did hear the criminal history in this case, and so therefore we are recommending a surety bond in the total amount of $2,000, $1,000 on each, $1,000 on battery family violence, $1,000 on simple battery family violence. That she has no further contact with Nathan Keeley, and that's spelled Kealy, and stay away from 801 River Run Drive in Sandy Springs, Georgia. And that is the recommendation, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Rhodes, could you pull up the bond on that 6139Y case for me and tell me the amount of it and who issued it for me, if you can?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm going to go on to Ms. Tucker, but first Nathan Keeley. If Mr. Keeley is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity. Yes, Ms. Tucker.
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Graham is 24 years of age. She's lived in the Atlanta area for a few months now, returning back to the area. She was able to give me a residential address. She's completed her high school education, and she's currently employed at America's Thrift Store in Marietta. We have no objections to no contact with Mr. Keeley, and we would ask for a police escort to pick up her property from the incident location. She did reside there for about 4 months now. She has been paying rent there, so her property is at that location. We are requesting $1,000 surety bond on her behalf, 500 on each count, giving her a very limited criminal history. As reported by pretrial, this is her second cycle.
Thank you, Mr. Rhodes.
Yes, Your Honor, that bond was issued on October 14th of this year, and it looks like the signature, and please forgive me if I'm wrong, but it looks like the signature of Judge Melanie Williams, Your Honor.
Okay, and was there an amount that
Yeah.
was with it?
It was $2,000 sign-on bond through pretrial self-services, and it looks like level 1 supervision. No further contact with Nathan Keeley and stay away from 801 River Run Drive in Sandy Springs. So it was in fact the same address and victim.
You said that was given, what's the date on that bond?
The 14th, October 14th, no drugs, alcohol, and weapons while on. So ordered the 4th day of October. I don't know where I saw the 14th. October 4th, 2025, not 14th.
And the date of this incident is October 18th.
That is correct.
So what you're telling me is that she got out of custody, signed on bond. She went right back to the same victim that she was supposed to stay away from, right? And picked up another charge now.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, that bond will be surrendered as it was violated, supposedly. And for this bond, if nothing further, it'll be $1,000 good bond per charge, makes for a total of a $2,000 good bond. no further contact with Mr. Keeley. Stay away from the River Run Drive address. She can go back to that address on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Ms. Graham, you now have 2 charges involving Mr. Keeley. No contact means absolutely no contact. It means you have to obviously not have any personal contact, but no phone contact, no internet contact, no emails, no contact whatsoever. And I understand you want to say something, Ms. Graham, but you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. If you need something, Ms. Tucker will give you a call later and you can discuss your concerns with her, okay? Ms. Tucker, I would imagine that would be the advice that you would give her.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you, Ms. Graham.
Next is position 11, Mr. Davis.
Good afternoon, Mr. Davis. You have been charged case 25 CR 006533B with battery, family violence, and driving while your license was suspended or revoked. Is there a history?
There are no prior cycles, Your Honor. It was recommended for UJR level 1. Nothing in addition.
Thank you. Ms. Evans Battle?
Yes, Your Honor. Officer Miranda went to 1903 Akron Drive Southeast, met with the victim, Carlicia Barlow. She indicated that Mr. Davis is the father of her unborn child. She indicated that they were in an argument, that he slapped her in the face, on top of her, held her down as a result of her fighting to get away from him and his attack on her. She received scratches and bruises on her arm. He took her car without her permission and went off of the property location. He has a suspended license and she knew about that, and that's why he did not have permission to drive her vehicle. While the officers were on scene, he called her and said that he was down the street at a store. So the officer went to the store where he was and attempted to stop him, but he wouldn't stop, and he rode along the roadway until he was able to get the vehicle back to the house. At this particular time, considering the nature of this offense, the fact that she's not currently charged with that, we're asking for a bond amount in the $3,500 surety on the battery, $1,500 on the driving while license is suspended, making it a total of $5,000 bond, that he have no contact with Ms. Carlicia Barlow, that he stay away from 1903 Drive South where she lives.
Ms. Barlow is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Mr. McLean?
Thank you, Your Honor. Jaquanta Davis is 21. His post-high school education has been 1.5 years so far, studying welding at Atlanta Tech. He works in a warehouse. The incident location is his mentioned. I believe it may have been also the residence. Yes, and still is. So there's the issue, Your Honor, during the pendency of this case. He's 21 and is resourceful and can live elsewhere if absolutely necessary. We would ask the court, since it is his first arrest, to consider a signature bond.
All right, for the battery, it will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. For the suspended license, $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1, makes for a total of a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further contact with the alleged victim. Stay away from the residential address. If necessary, he can go back to that address on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Your
Good
Honor,
luck to you, Mr. Davis. Yes, Ms. Jackson.
was that 3,000 or 2,000?
It was 2,000 for the battery, 1,000 for the suspended license, so a total of 3,000.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Your Honor, next we have Ms. Blanca. Oh, say that one more time. Blanca Sonia Rodriguez.
Is Rodriguez the last name? I wasn't able to hear that, Milton.
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Blanca is the first name.
And mute me on. Your Honor, may I interject for a moment on this case?
On this case, that the Blanta case?
Yes, Your Honor. We have met her before, and I think it would be preferable, considering what we're going to hear about prior arrests and open cases. If we could go see her in person at ACDC, the interviews go better with her when they're in person.
So what's your, first of all, I'm not able to locate her on my calendar. Can somebody tell me what position number this young lady is?
Position 27.
Oh, okay, thank you. All right.
It's under-
And your request, Mr. McLean, is,
Simply reset to the day after tomorrow so we can see her in person, because we have more rapport with her when we interview her in person.
okay, so you would like, the defense counsel's requesting a reset until 10/22, is that right?
Right.
All right, so, we'll see you back, Miss Osorino, on 10/22.
And may I ask if she needs an interpreter, because her mother has indicated, I'm not sure if her mother will be on, if we'll have an interpreter available on the Thursday as well.
Does her mother require an interpreter, Miss Evans Battle? If so, we
Yes,
can
she
get one
does.
for, okay, and
does.
she's she of the victim in the matter?
She is, Your Honor.
Okay, so I'll make note, that we should have an interpreter on Wednesday. Okay, all right, thank you.
Next is position 21, Mr. Maradiaga.
Got you right.
Yes, Mr. Maradiaga, you have been charged in case 25 CR 006507H with driving under the influence of alcohol under the age of 21 and following too closely. Is there a history?
Just a moment, please, Your Honor. There are no prior cycles or arrests on file, Your Honor. Appears to meet the criteria for UJR level 1. Nothing in addition.
Thank you. Mr. Rhodes?
Yes, Your Honor, give me one moment. I am looking for. Oh, there we are. Thank you, Your Honor. This incident did take place October 18, 2025 at approximately 9 p.m. at the intersection of Old Alabama Road and Nesbitt Ferry Road in Johns Creek. Mr. Mari Diaga Takota, who was under the age of 21, was identified as the driver of a Toyota Tacoma involved in a 3-vehicle collision after following another vehicle too closely. When speaking with the officers, he admitted to consuming 2 alcohol shots earlier that night, and officers did note the emitting odor of alcohol coming from his breath and his unsteady behavior on the scene. They did, in fact, conduct standardized field sobriety tests, during which Mr. Mardiaga displayed signs of impairment. He did agree to a state blood draw. We don't have those results as of yet, but his vehicle did remain on the scene. Your Honor, so he is charged with DUI for individual under the age of 21. Given that it is a DUI, the state will not request a signature bond. However, will request a low surety bond in the amount of $2,000 on the DUI under 21 years of age, and on the following two closely, in the amount of $500, Your Honor. We ask that he undergo alcohol drug evaluation and treatment while out on bond, and that is the recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. McLean?
Your Honor, he's only 17, but will turn 18 next June. He is doing well in high school in a medium close Atlanta area high school. He plays in sports there. He's making A's and B's in math, literature are his favorite subjects. He works for his construction company if he has any spare time after the soccer and after all the studying. I've spoken to his family. We would ask the court, since he has no priors, to grant on.
What grade is he in?
Senior?
Aside from sports, is he working?
He works at his dad's construction company as needed or as if he can, but he doesn't always work there because usually high school and soccer take it all up in terms of time. Thank you.
Okay, for the DUI, it'll be a $4,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. For the following too closely, $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1 makes for a total of a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. I want him to take a defensive driving class. I want him to stay in school. I want him to have a curfew. He is to be in by 9 p.m. and not leave until 6 a.m. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Yep. Next is position 22, Mr. McKellar.
Good afternoon, Mr. McKellum. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006519G with fleeing or attempting to elude a police officer, willful obstruction of law enforcement, and driving while your license was suspended or revoked. Is there a history, Ms. Jackson?
There are 26 cycles. The last arrest was February the 26th, 2025 out of Douglas County for theft by shoplifting. He does appear to be on probation in Douglas County for theft by shoplifting. That disposition date was November 14th, 2024. 30 days of confinement and 11 months of probation. He does appear to have an open case pending in Cobb County for theft by receiving stolen property and theft by, it appears to be 2 counts of theft by receiving stolen property. And he does have an additional open cases in his probation cases. The next one is out of Douglas County as well for theft by shoplifting. That disposition date was October the 6th, 2025, and the term is for 12 months. And he appears to be on first offender probation in Douglas County for 2 counts of theft by shoplifting. That disposition date was October the 6th, 2025, and the term is for 10 years. He does have prior misdemeanor convictions and a sentence. Sworn in 2021 out of Douglas County for giving false information to an officer and possession of controlled substance. He received a nolo contendere sentence in 2006 out of Forest Park, Georgia, for possession of marijuana less than an ounce. And he does appear to have an outstanding hold out of Douglasville, Georgia, for a probation violation. The date on that warrant is October the 15th, 2025. It does appear to meet the criteria for UJR level 3, nothing in addition.
Mr. Rhodes?
Yes, Your Honor. This event took place October 19, 2025, between 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. near MLK Junior High in Fairburn Road in southwest Atlanta. Officers located a black 2017 Nissan Maxima that had been flagged by a license plate reader. Mr. McKelly was driving with two passengers when an officer did activate emergency lights to initiate a stop. Mr. McKelly continued to drive at a low speed, despite multiple verbal requests from his passengers to pull over, him stating that I'm not going back. Additional units and followed while updating dispatch. And finally, at 1070 Bolton Road, officers had to perform what is called a pit maneuver to stop the Mr. McKelly did exit and attempted to run on foot, but was quickly detained and apprehended, Your Honor. In addition to the criminal history that you heard, it is clear that he is a flight risk. We are asking for a surety bond in the amount of $7,000, $5,000 on the fleeing or attempting to elude an officer because of the seriousness of that offense, and there being passengers that were also affected by it, and $1,000 on the willful obstruction, and $1,000 on the driving while license is suspended. We ask that conditions be that he refrain from driving as his license is in fact suspended. And that is all we have at this time, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. McLean?
31-year-old Mr. McKelly completed high school. He's a local person, plenty of community contacts. Post-high school education includes certification in HVAC, and he has the barbering skills, and I believe the certification as well. We understand the prior arrest history and open case information is stated, and we ask the court to consider the lowest possible bond.
Okay, for the fleeing, a $2,000 good bond. For each of the other charges, a $500 good bond. Makes for a total of a $3,000 good bond. No driving without a valid license. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Next are positions 15 through 18.
Ms. Tucker, is this your case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do we need to go off of the YouTube?
If you wanted to proceed without announcing the charges, that may be fine. Also, going off the YouTube is fine.
Well, I don't announce the charges.